YouTube. I mentioned this the other week. My pal Tegan gave me a couple of pedals to do a review of. One of them was a bass rap pedal. I was like, and then one was like, this pedal is the 90s in a pedal. And I was like, I think I mentioned this before. It's like, very yep. It was like seeing Luke Skywalker in that terrible Star Wars film gets given his lightsaber and he just goes, bit of that. So I've not even turned it on yet. I did do a bit of looking up to see what it was. So to be honest, my pal got fed up with the fact that I never know what any of these pedals are. So I looked up, it's the 1991 pedal from 2021, limited edition. It said something in this spiel. I might even put that link in the description below. That means I don't need to read it out. So I'll do that. It says at the end, he's like, he was really proud of it. There's 500 pedals made. I think this one's actually, there's 826 pedals that exist. It said something about Liverpool as well, so made in England, I think. It's meant to be going for the Pearl Jam sound from the album 10, so it's like, the idea here is it's kind of like a amp gain stages or something like that. It's like I think it's like a pedal and an amp in a pedal. I'm just going to play it. I have no idea what I'm doing. I went for my 86 Roadster, so this would have been 5 years old. So 90s guitar, 1991. I remember getting Pearl Jam 10 on cassette off my pal Colin Laird at school one time. I didn't like it. Don't remember it. Grunge kind of passed me by. I do remember I did like Nirvana when I first heard Smells Like Teen Spirit and stuff, and I had Bleach when I was like 13 or 14, and just kind of after that I heard the Stones and then Led Zeppelin, Deep Purple, Black Sabbath, and I never really listened to grunge. I think maybe if I'd been a bit older at the time, I would maybe have got the hang of it. But my looking was, why would I listen to that when I haven't heard everything Black Sabbath have done yet? For me, it was just like an entirely different league. Just a taste thing. So playing through the Orange TH30. So that's us. That's a little reverb on. I don't have reverb. Can't be. Okay, that's it without the pedal on. Let's give it a go, and I will not be playing any Pearl Jam because I don't honestly know. I'm sure I would recognise. Is that Pearl Jam? The I'm Alive or something? Don't know. So I'll just do how much use this is to me. So as I said, it's called a 1991. I'm not even sure what make it is. Funnylittleboxes.co.uk. Don't know, but let's... The 90s, is it? Wow, that's a powerful purple light that's shining right into the camera, but you know what I mean? So maybe if I get something I could maybe just sit on top of that. What if I stick this light on top of it so you can actually see the dials? Yeah, it is on. So, gain 1 and 2, volume, bass, middle, treble. Middle has got an arrow going left and right. That might mean it's like a parametric thing. Not really sure. And that's the end of my grunge. Sorry, I've still not recovered from COVID. I'm going to have to blow my nose before I even start. I can already feel myself being incredibly nasally. Currently over ODing on these Jakeman's sweets, which are really good. Although I did have a bit of an incident last night. I was like 2 of them in my mouth. I was like kind of lying down, not feeling too hot, kind of crunching away at them, and somehow, and I have no idea how this happened, a bit of it went into my eye, and oh my god, did that wake me up? I've had, you must have done it yourself when you've been cutting chilies and stuff, and then later on at night you accidentally rub your eye and your eye goes on fire. This was like an entirely different experience of just like pure whoa, but it went away really quickly. So basically, just by putting water in my eye, it went away quickly. A bit by the by. my understanding here would be that the two gain stages are like the first one's kind of like a distortion pedal. Knob 1 and knob 2 is kind of like is like your amp distortion, I think. Don't know. As I said, my head's not completely working correctly. Started to feel much better from the COVID last week, but still, it's just lingering on with excessive tiredness. And I went to sleep last night just after midnight. Didn't even wake up until 12, and then went back to sleep again. Woke up at 2:30. So it's like it's hard stuff. I have to say that on the first sound, I can totally use that. I could totally play a whole gig with that sound. No bother at all. I'm totally hearing reverb, which is it's just not possible because the amp doesn't have reverb. That's me just using the humbucker on the bridge. Single con bridge. But I have to say that even just at that totally would fit on my pedal board quite nicely. I would have that as my pedal. That's fine. I'd imagine, seeing as it's got a handwritten number on the back and it's made by some guy in Liverpool, it's probably very expensive. Another thing I should have looked up. I will put a link to the 1991 pedal story thing in the description down below so you can read up on it. But I mean, to be honest, it might as well be a jazz pedal because I can't play jazz either. Although I think Pearl Jam are probably. In fact, they did an album Mirrorball with Neil Young, so maybe if I play Neil Young, that'll help. Let's try turning the first gain up full and see what happens. Wow, that's subtle. It's quite a subtle pedal then. Normally when you turn the game up full it becomes a metal monster. This has not happened with this pedal. Let's try putting that back to the middle. I've lent my keyboard stand to someone else, that's why I'm kind of having to lean down to operate this. To be honest, I think height-wise, maybe I should just see if I had another shoebox to sit it on so at least I can touch it there rather than having to bend down. Would be better. Let's try turning the other gain up. And both of them at full. Why not? I'm a fool. Totally covered. I don't know if I can twist my hand around so I can get the camera in a position where you can't see it. Let's try scooping it a bit. Well, that makes it sound very far away, doesn't it? Bit more. I think I'm going to do this. How long are we in? 11 minutes? That's fine. Might stick a wee bit of a backing track down. We'll turn the mid down and then I'll have two guitars doing it. If I turn up the mid, it should cut through. Less treble. Full bung. totally not played really the guitar this week at all. I miss it. I really do. Everything at Noon. Marvellous pedal. It's kind of, I don't shoot me for this, but it seems it's kind of got one sound that's very tweakable within a wee parameters if you're really nailing it. The guy mentions it in the thing. It's like you can pure nail that Pearl Jam 10 album sound completely with this, which is kind of what it's for. But it works good for later on stuff as well because it's tweakable. And it's, I think it's not, it's just a different way of doing it. I don't ever really aim for a specific sound. I just plug it in and fiddle with it until I like it. Ultimately, this passes my first test. My first test being stick all the knobs at 12, plug it in. Is it good? Yes. You just not, I'm not so keen on, see, when you get a pedal or an amp where you plug in and put everything at 12 or whatever, and you have to fanny about with it to make it sound good. It's like not to make it sound better, to make it sound acceptable. I like it when you just plug it in, turn it on, and it's already good. You can fiddle about with it to make it sound better, that's fine, but as long as it sounds pretty good when you turn it on, and to be honest, all knobs at 12, as I said earlier, I could totally that would do me from a distorted sound, no bother at all. It's very, I'll get Blacktooth Fox to comment all the words I want to use, transparent and all these other buzzwords about pedals. But I bet you all these things would be dead handy if you're trying to mix it in with a band, like you're doing like a recording or you're in a band with a couple of guitar players sort of thing, so you could fight against each other. That's where all the EQ and stuff really comes into its own. When I'm just playing on my own, especially even when I'm in the band Cranking House, it's like just bass, drums, and me, really, and a singer. So it's like I've kind of got this whole room's worth of space to take up, so I can kind of do anything. I'm not really fighting to be in the mix. You can hear me. Whereas I think if there's more things going on, the ability to tweak and maybe cut out these frequencies and add in these ones to find your wee space in the frequency range where you can solo and stuff would be a really handy thing. Does seem very trebly, but that maybe it's because my ears haven't been listening to music. Well, that's why I was in the studio the other night with the Black Sabbath band. I forgot to mention, yes, so tomorrow night playing the bass in Paisley after the end. Pop along, it'll be fun. And I'm totally sure, I keep testing, I'm not COVID positive. I must just be on the after effects of it, so you can talk to me and I won't transfer my disease to you. And for added thing, added suspense, I might collapse at some point from being ill, but I don't think so. I was alright in the studio the other night. I felt fine. Or maybe that was the shawarma kebab. But I felt fine, totally. Came back home, felt fine, watched telly for an hour, felt fine, went to sleep, fine, woke up in the morning, knackered. So it's like, I think it seems to be, I seem to be limited to extended lengths of thing. But I'm good for a good 6 hours a day, so basically I'm not going to wake up till tomorrow after lunchtime anyway, so I'll still be in my window of activity for the gig. Quite looking forward to it, actually. Got a new Alan, the new drummer, which seems to have given us a wee bit of a kick into life. I don't know. It's so difficult being in all these being in bands over this whole COVID thing. I know it's finished now. Well, I've got it, but I mean, you know, like the whole lockdown thing being the bands, it was dead difficult to get going again because I've been in these bands for when was it? August 2019. So that was like 3 years ago. The first gig I did with the Sabbath band with a different singer, well, now a different drummer as well. And we were all set to go. That was before the lockdowns, actually. That was when the singer quit after that band. And then the next one was, the next gig we had was February 2020. So it's 2 years ago when we had our new singer all set up to go. We had half a dozen gigs lined up. We did a gig, and then lockdown happened a couple of weeks later, and we had to cancel all the other gigs, and then it's just been kind of in bits. So it's a weird thing being in a band for so long and not having such big jumps of not playing together. But it's great fun. With a very purple, it's a very purple light. These things I've had this problem with these LEDs before. It's totally fine. Doesn't look bad from here. It's only when you've got the exact angle, like where that camera is. I've got my wee Mosky Rat pedal has this exact thing going on with it as well. It's only when you go to look over to try and, if you're going to adjust the knobs, and suddenly you just get this pure laser beam in the eye. But I mean, obviously a wee bit of tape over it, sorted. As well as like, you can, I mean, when you're building these pedals, you can put like a wee resistor in, which reduces the brightness of the LED. I think the problem is that modern LEDs are so powerful. I mean, look at that thingy one I've got, the Hello Kitty one. I put the eyeballs, LED eyeballs in it. Those things could pure burn through metal. You know, it's like they really are, intentionally, but really, if you put smoke, like if you had a smoke machine, it would be like a pure laser quest thing. Very directional and very bright LEDs you get these days. So there we go. This is what the clean sound I was playing through was. Desperately need to put new strings on this guitar. So again, sorry I'm not a huge Pearl Jam fan, or generally grunge in total. Actually, the guy I got that tape off, he gave me a tape with, it was Pearl Jam on one side, and the other side was snippets from The Wall, Pink Floyd The Wall, and he gave me another tape which was The Doors' Waiting for the Sun album and another Doors album on the other side. Mind you, it was a C90, so maybe it was just the one tape. But I mean, Waiting for the Sun, yes, that was, listened to that a million times. And then the Pearl Jam one, it was like, not for me. I didn't like the Pink Floyd one either. I never used to like Pink Floyd, amazingly enough. I have to understand people say, oh, I don't like Pink Floyd. Totally get it. I couldn't be bothered with Pink Floyd. I used to get really pissed off at my pal Robert used to have a multi-change CD player thing, because they were the thing. 6 discs or something, and you would always know when it was a Pink Floyd CD was the next one coming on, because it's 30 seconds in and you couldn't hear anything yet. You know, you would just have, like, you know, and then eventually it would fade into, and then you would get, which, I mean, it's great. I mean, I can appreciate it now, but at the time it was like, oh, hurry up, man, I could have listened to, you know, half a dozen Stones songs, like Paint It Black, 90th Nervous Breakdown and all that, in the amount of time that it took Pink Floyd to get to the end of the first song on the album. and I never liked Pink Floyd. And then we watched it was on telly, the Pink Floyd at Pompeii thing, and suddenly it made sense. I really like that Pink Floyd. That's still my favourite Pink Floyd is that era. So I'm like kind of Pink Floyd. Oh yeah, totally. Atom Heart Mother, First Side, Meadow, Pompeii. Even I like the Relics one a lot. You know, the sort of the more pop stuff. Is my Pink Floyd, and Animals as well. Never been so keen on Dark Side of the Moon, The Wall. Wish You Were Here. They're good. I like them. I don't dislike them. They just didn't inspire me and make me go, oh, I need to listen to that again immediately. I want a copy of that, which is what happened with some of the other stuff. And it never happened with Pearl Jam. Don't know why. Just a taste thing in it. Okay, so rock on. So come and see me tomorrow night. Black Sabbath. I will possibly put another. I might just not put a video out tomorrow. Because you won't have time to watch anyway because you'll come and see me. Yes, I know you might be in America or something, but you can still make an effort. Still time to get a plane over. If you get like it'll probably be a bit cheaper as well because you'll be getting it last minute. And you can stay here. I'll give you you can have like a settee that's got hundreds of guitars on it that'll move out the way for you to sleep on. If you want to come over. Or I might do another video. Tegan gave me another pedal to do, a Red Mist Mark IV. Which I might just do in a minute. I'll see how I feel tonight. But I want to get this out tonight. And I've managed to talk for half an hour again, which is disgusting. And yes, YouTube algorithm, I know you hate me. I know I could get millions of more views if I just stuck the videos to 10 minutes. Or 5 minutes like they actually want me to. But what can you say in 5 minutes? Nothing. Here's a pedal. You know, you just have to read a script and do what everyone else did. Fuck it. Rockin'. Catch you later.